do it somehow. Houston Outlaws versus the Vancouver Titans. Rose, wow, Vancouver Titans. I didn't think we'd ever be in a position where we're like, wow, they are currently on a 3-match win streak. They're 3-1
it's wild.
in the Summer Showdown qualifiers.
What timeline are we in, Jaws? We were just looking at the Gladiators, 0-4. One of the best teams in the West, and now Vancouver Titans also making, flipping the script a little bit here. They could make it today with a win over Houston.
Yeah, a dub here for the Vancouver Titans, 4-1, which means they will book their ticket to that LAN. And what's quite exciting is that we have both Canadian teams in at the Toronto LAN, so that'd be equally as cool. Let's talk about the Houston Outlaws just a little bit though, Rose, because they've had, again, I mentioned it on the last match, but it's been a bit of a roster mania couple of weeks. Like, it's been a bit crazy. We've seen a Piggy step away from the Outlaws roster. Dante was playing a lot of the time when we were in this Doomfist meta, the Doom tank, but I feel like a lot of people kind of weren't happy about that. Pelican kind of tweeted out that he was very sad to see Piggy go, and he did join the team with him. You can imagine he was quite close to Piggy. Yeah. And the Outlaws did bring on a couple of people. You can see one of those people right here in Lep, but the Outlaws have just not looked great. They're currently sitting in 8th with a 1-2 record, and they lost to New York Excelsior and London so far. But they did end up winning against the Glads, but again, weakened Glads. It's been a bit of a strange qualifiers for Houston.
It has been, and I think a lot of that, unfortunately, just falls on maybe some synergy missteps that we're seeing from this team. This meta really requires you to have a backline that fully understands each other, so you're not using rally and beat at the same time, and you have that strong communication so that you know what game plan you really should be going for. And so I think that there's still some wrinkles that you need to iron out with this team, but Houston, I do think that obviously they have the talent here and they have the ability. It's just about kind of putting it into practice and really seeing that come to fruition.
I mean, we'll see if they can end this Vancouver Titans win streak, because they have just been on another level recently. And they added a coach quite late on into the season.
Deepay.
Everybody was kind of hoping for this first win, right? And yeah, they added Deepay, Mr. David Pay. And look, at the end of the day, you add a coach like this halfway through the season, then you start finding you start finding success. Like, Coach of the Year material potentially on a team that was coming into the qualifiers with 0 wins throughout the regular season. Like, that's insane. It's been a massive shift for this squad. They added King too for the Vancouver Titans, who's also been looking pretty damn good on the Genji.
I mean, King's debut just a couple of matches ago was stellar. I know that it didn't end up as a win for the Vancouver Titans for that one, but that could just be chalked up to nerves, Jaws, because ever since then, King has been on an absolute tear with this Genji, and I think that he's slotted in really nicely to this roster as a whole. On top of the coaching, on top of just like, I don't know, the environment that I feel like the Titans seem to have. Look at how like all smiles they are all the time when they're playing these matches. They're vibing, and I think that really does speak volumes to just how they approach the game with their mentality.
Yeah, big smiles in the Vancouver camp right now. And I think they spoke to Marsa on the broadcast yesterday, and it's been good to see. It's good to see Vancouver Titans in those kind of interview positions too, and having such a devastating start to the season and then eventually finding wins. You can only think like it's only up from here. Yeah. Imagine a situation where the Vancouver Titans end up in a play-in scenario, in a playoff scenario. Like, hey, the sky's the limit right now for Titans. If they do win here, like you said, they do get their tickets to that Toronto LAN, and the Houston Outlaws maybe looking at the opposite, maybe looking at not even making it there with a 1-2 scoreline in the qualifier.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough one. Houston Outlaws needs a win here in order to stay a part of the conversation, but Vancouver Titans with a loss wouldn't be out of it yet either. So, I mean, look at that though. What? Is this the time?
Yeah, not dropped a map to Titans since stage 3. A very different team. Both teams very different in 2019.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous.
I mean, you gotta, I think you could look at that in a lot of different ways too, when you look at just Overwatch 2 as a whole and how that has really changed how teams approach the games. So some of these stats, so cool to see the history here, but you do have to take it with a grain of salt, knowing how different 5v5 looks as well.
All right, jumping into a brief pause. Mira called the pause, so maybe something wrong with the Vancouver Titans end. Hopefully we'll get that sorted in just a moment.
Yeah, look at back.
Thinking about the way they've played up until this point, especially people like Marsa, who has been on teams like Atlanta Reign in the past, who's been a standout Lucio more often than not, and has been an exceptional Lucio player, I think, all his career. Has just gone a little bit unnoticed over this last year because of the Vancouver Titans record, but him and Aztac have been performing very well together in a meta that requires your backline to be just titanium level strong to survive a lot of these Sojourn railguns, or like Genji's trying to go for the dives, or the Junk Queen like speeding onto your brig to try and kill her. It's been a good look for Vancouver Titans. We are back in the game, thank goodness. It's not a long pause. We're on Busan as our first map.
Yeah, I want to follow that up as well, talking about Aztac. I think Aztac has consistently improved over the course of this season, and has also been standing out to me as a really strong backline here for the Titans. So all eyes are really on Titans right now to see if they can keep this win streak alive.
I think a lot of people in the crowd are definitely hoping so, although Outlaws fan base is quite large, I will say. Nice early kill onto Merritt. You can see him kind of looking around to try and find where King was, and Aspire was just shooting him that entire time. In fact, Outlaws have swapped sides of the map. Aztac does fall, so the Vancouver Titans have got a whole lot of heals to rely on, but it doesn't matter. Aspire's more than happy in just dismantling the Outlaws front line.
Yeah, look at that. They're going to take control of the point right away here and just start that percentage rolling. But I think something else that you have to look at too is just how this Ashe versus this Sojourn is really going to play out here. Merritt has opted for the Ashe, so you do end up getting that consistent dynamite damage, but especially when you don't have a shield, that's going to hurt a lot. But it's really about the follow-up as well. Can Pelican go in with these slashes and dashes to really make good use of that? On the flip side, Aspire, with this railgun, look how fast he's charging up these shots. So much one-shot potential.
Ooh, gotta be careful. If you're Merritt, he pokes the head around the corner, he's gonna die. Oh, Pelican with reflection. And then the melee onto Aspire does take care of him with ease. Merritt's still in a little bit of trouble though. King is just constantly harassing him in the front, in the back line. Nice dynamite. Doesn't get the coach gun off in time. In fact, it was still on cooldown when he tried to use it, it looked like that. Ooh! Master, face full of shrapnel.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to just have to get sent back to spawn for that one, but I think Titans are really happy walking away with 50%. But both teams are looking at some ultimates coming online to really start to get things going. You know, Houston Outlaws are first to the sound barrier, so Lep has that to be able to get a strong engage for the Outlaws. But as well, Pelican outpacing King right now to get that Dragon Blade online.
Yeah, they'll all come on around the same time unless the Houston Outlaws want to go rather fast. Both support ultimates available for Outlaws in a couple of seconds. Titans a little bit further ahead with Aztac using his rally. A lot of ultimates being used. Multiple beats. Bob comes out, sits on the point, holds it down for the Outlaws. Aspire trying to get value with this overclock, but not to be. So they get pushed away, and the Outlaws continue to hold.
Oh, look at that as well. How expensive this fight was for both of these teams. And now you look at Outlaws, where Pelican held onto the Dragon Blade.
They're going to go fast.
So they look at this. They get to play so close. And do Titans even know?
They know they have Blade. And Aspire do not. Blade, speed boost, commanding shout, everything thrown to pocket. Pelican straight to the spawn. No kills, but damage will do. Bit more time shaved off the bank, but Pelican just kisses the spawn door, and Aspire just greets him with a face full of energy, I suppose. I'm not sure what kind of material shoots out of the railgun. Energy beams, I guess, but regardless, it does kill him.
Yep, that's going to send him right back to spawn. And now Titans, too, they've really got one more chance to be able to come back into this one, and they don't really have a whole lot to do it. Mirror has the rampage, but Dante's got one, too.
King's already 1 HP. Nice little boop onto Dante, so he gets negative value with his ultimate. Unlike Mira, who dove to the backline, Lep and Lastro, just like I mentioned before, you need an adamantium, a titanium backline. They're able to pocket each other, run away from Mira and take him out and survive. Not for long though, as he goes down to Aspire, but overtime's here for the Outlaws as they boop everybody from Titans away from the point. both Lep and Dante standing strong. Aztec was the one to touch, but couldn't make it there. And Outlaws claimed the first round.
Yeah, and it was looking good for the Titans for a while there with that 50%. But then once Houston took back control, they were really in control of the point. I mean, Merritt just picking up the Ashe felt like the perfect choice given the amount of just open space that you have to work with. Bob, when that comes online, is able to help you shut down so many different avenues. But I think it makes a lot of sense here to go back to the Soldier. We've seen just how incredible Merritt can be. Let's all remember that triple collateral on Coliseo, you know, and because you have these solo performances, you're hoping that at least the Outlaws can also meld that into a team-centric performance too. And so let's see if that is going to be what we see as well as we head over to downtown. There you go.
There you go. Talk about him.
Capitalize.
He does the job. Easy, easy. Nice little double kill with a couple of railgun shots. Nice. This is a very quick fight for the Outlaws. Very quick.
They've got the pattern down, you know, of how they want to approach, who they want to attack, who they're going after, and even just splitting up as well to be able to capture the point very quickly. Now they can kind of just let it go, see where the Titans are going to come from, meet them there. But look at this. I mean, the fact that Ulastro's 30% charge ahead of Aztec right now, that's pretty big to make sure that you get that rally online really fast. Actually, the holy smokes.
Yeah. He got nothing done in that fight, unfortunately. Teammates were dead before he could even do anything. Well, he was dead, in fact, before he could do anything. Nice, good start, killing King. Yeah, another very quick and clean fight for the Outlaws. Okay, Pelican. Yeah, learning his lessons from last round. Doesn't want to dash straight towards the spawn door. All good.
All good. All good downtown. I was going to say... Yeah, I guess we are downtown, huh?
Yeah.
But Titans, I mean, they're still kind of struggling to keep up with some of these ultimates from Houston. Primarily because, you know, Houston's been winning all these team fights, but also that Titans really haven't been able to find an opening because every single time they walk in, something like this happens.
Yeah. Yeah, they got 60% already. Woo! This is just a slaughter right now for the Outlaws. Yep. Yeah, the Titans not looking so hot right now. I mean, I suppose, yes, like, we got support coming up, but the Outlaws have not needed anything. It's been Merritt that's getting pick after pick after pick. And it's been tough. I mean, 5 ults for Outlaws coming up. I mean, Vancouver not too far behind there.
No, I mean, it's just still tough though, right? Because Houston, they can just use these ultimates now. It's last fight territory. And Houston might not even give Titans a chance, but
okay.
Nice revenge.
A little bit of revenge. It's definitely sweet. The beat comes up the stairs for Marsa there. Pelican just trying as hard as he can to try and take down Aztec. Rampage does enough work, though, for Pelican to follow up that with a blade. And just an absolute shutout here for the Outlaws. 99%, even with the Spire picking someone off of the Outlaws. Didn't matter. 4v5, they'll take that any day. And Outlaws starting off strong with a map win.
I hope that builds their confidence as well. I feel like they might need a bit of a confidence boost after how some of these last matches have really gone, but that looked very clean and very decisive, especially as they're warming up to how the Titans like to play this game.
Those are pretty damn good. We did have questions coming into this for Outlaws. We'll see if they've been answered in map number 2, if they can keep this ball rolling. We're going on to Hybrid as our next game mode. We'll see you in a bit.
Please don't let me in the mood.
Please don't let me into my zone. I just need some time of my own. All these people trying to get a conversation. You can conversate to that tone. My gut eyes on that throne, yeah. So I'm never alone, yeah. All these people trying to box me in. I'm at my weather, it's on, yeah. Now they ask where I'm at. Making hits that line back. I'm MJ, I'm 2-3, man. I just need some time back. I'm zoned in like defense. My life gone, no recess. But I live my best one, so I got no regrets. So I'm gone. Finally back in my home. I'm working like so much. They swear I had me a clone. Can't answer my phone now. Just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now.
Hey, welcome back. Outlaws with a swift map 1 victory on Busan against the Titans, but Titans are still not out of it just yet. They want to keep that win streak. Going.
They do, but Merit might pose a problem for them. I mean, the number of first picks that Merit got on the Sojourn was pretty ridiculous in downtown. So I think that, you know, when moving forward, Titans really do need to put an emphasis on trying to target down Merit and Pelican. Just take that damage off the board.
You got to shut him down. But then the same thing can be said about Aspire, right? I mean, he's also been instrumental to Vancouver Titans' success on that Sojourn. Yeah, if your Sojourn player is just on a hot streak, it's hard to stop him if you're the other team. Let's hope that Aspire can stand up to Merit on the next map. We are going to Hollywood,
where we've got a ton of high ground to play with. And so definitely expect that all of the DPS are going to be using that to full advantage. And I have questions, though, whether we're going to see the Ashe versus the Sojourn. Jaws, what are you thinking here? Because we've seen both looks from Merit so far, and Hollywood on defense specifically. We tend to see a bit more of the Ashe if a team feels comfortable with it.
I definitely don't mind the Ashe whatsoever. I think on the defense it's a little bit better, and it looks like they do want to run it. So yeah, Ashe for defense, hold the cafe area. The Dynamites can be quite crazy. It's quite enclosed, this first point, so Dynamites in general do get a lot of value there.
Yeah.
See what Outlaws, Titans want to play. I don't think it's going to be Bastion at all.
No?
It could, probably
sure?
not. I mean, double turret mode would be rather cool, but we've seen crazier things, to be fair. Well, I guess the same kind of crazy. We've seen London Spitfire run out with a Bastion before, but yeah, it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
That's disappointing, and my day is now ruined, Jaws. Thanks. We might see at least this quick potential Widow pick here. Nice body shot onto Pelican, at least. But that's about all it's going to get here as the Spire does switch back over to the Sojourn. And Outlaws also back up pretty significantly here.
Yeah, we see a lot of Ashes. It was the first series of the day, the Ashe on the defense, just dynamite. Just on these corners, you get bobbed so fast. A couple of places to hide from the bob if you use the bob on the point. Not as many as you would like in that enclosed space. Disruption Shot doing a good job at maybe isolating Dante. Use that commanding shout to get out of there with the help of his support, speeding him along the way. Pelican using Deflect to stop the damage from Aspire and Marsa, but not quite enough to stop flailing Aztac, just swinging away. King takes care of Lastro too. Good offense so far for the Titans. Oh, goodbye, Merits. Those Dynamites not working out for you, unfortunately, this time around. In fact, King with 3 kills on that push.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that the Ashe can work here on the high ground of second point, but what a fast take here from the Titans. Now they're going to get that car rolling, and they're also going to be coming up with a sound barrier so fast. They can just take a really quick, aggressive push here as long as King doesn't get chunked out of the sky like too soon. That was really close there. But,
yeah.
Ooh.
How is Marsa must have done an unbelievable amount of damage to start off with.
Like a ton.
Amp some heals, but yeah, must have done a lot. I mean, if they, like you said, Rose, maybe if they're cheeky enough, take that lift on the high ground, use that beat, just push Outlaws off, have one person sit on the payload, hopefully you can win out at 45 on height. Have to wait and see what they want to do. They still have to be careful though. Merit is closing in on this Bob, only a couple of percentage points away, and he will get it. Good idea. Use the Bob when they use the beat. It goes to the back line, chunks people away, but they might not even need to use that. Yeah, Aspire just takes his head clean off before that Bob can be brought to the battlefield. The Vancouver Titans use the rally, push forward. Now Pelican's in trouble. A shield bash to the face. He's going to get really annoyed with Aztac at this point. It's a couple of concussions now for him.
That's gotta hurt. I mean, Vancouver Titans only needed the rally there as well. As soon as they got that quick pick on to Merit, they could just go forward, and they had a lot of confidence that that 5v4 would absolutely be in their advantage. But Outlaws, they can still come back with a bunch of firepower here. Now it's really on Masa with the sound barrier that he preserved to answer some of these bigger ultimates coming out from the Outlaws here. Looking at Merit and Pelican right now.
Yeah, it sucks for Merit. He's not on the high ground here, and he's just a little bit scared. Pelican trying to chase King away, so Merit can get on there potentially. Bob comes out on the payload, but Aspire is rather toasty up here. Using that overclock. Bob doesn't see him unless he peeks his head over like this. Stalemate so far. Only ultimate's been used, no kills just yet. The Outlaws have double support ultimate available. A beat comes out in response to Pelican's blade. Another beats. As we sit back to the present, there's the rally from Lastro as they do try and focus down Aspire, but look at the disengage from the Titans. They are going pretty low, and in fact, Master does end up getting picked off. Pelican with the dash reset to the back line, deflecting that shield bash, has had enough with Aztac's shenanigans. An isolation kill onto Lastro, but the Outlaws come out on top, it feels like, especially with the spawns that they have, and yeah, Aztac going down and King to follow. Good little defense just before the second point.
It's actually important as well. Dante didn't really get ultimate charge for that either. Has been sitting on the rampage for a bit, and so getting those final blows actually is kind of okay for the Titans right now. King thinks about switching over to the Echo. I think that when you're against somebody like Merit, and then of course like Pelican on the Genji that can play with these buildings to try to reach you in the sky, that's probably not the best choice. So going back over to the Genji feels way smarter to try to close out the second point. They're so close as well, Jaws. They really just need to just push it over the edge. What the boop?
Oh, what a boop! What a boop off the top of the high ground. Mira tried to rampage straight through the Outlaws. And the boop, from what I presume is Lep, straight off the top, so that ultimate doing absolutely nothing, and Dante's now got a rampage in his back pocket. Gel control for the Outlaws still as Pelican chases Aspire away. That rampage hits multiple targets, but unable to follow up at the Outlaws as Merit ends up just biting the dust. Both rampages not doing too much, it seems. It's been quite a sorry state of affairs for the Junker Queens as King and Aztac take this fight into their own hands. Leb just dodging around the bins, gets dumped in what? As the Vancouver Titans get that second point.
Wow, the boop looked so massive. Oh no, the stagger onto Merit as well. Titans just gonna keep pushing forward with this aggression, hoping that they can catch somebody else out on the Outlaws. I mean, Aspire really could just shut down and create so much space with this overclock too. That's something that, you know, is a really nice boon for the Sojourn player versus the Ashe in this matchup. Is your ultimate has so much more value potential. Bob is great for being able to force the other team into positioning, but it's not really going to pick up picks.
There's the overclock from Aspire. Rally from Lastro. Outlaws in a good spot. Not so much anymore as Merit does end up going down. Aspire's just had his number in this map. It was the other way around on Busan, but Aspire's not here to mess around. Blade pulled from King, dashes towards Lastro, who booped himself off of the payload to try and get some space, but the Vancouver Titans take it in their stride. Once again, Aspire taking care of Merit at the start of these fights.
It's been huge. It's been so huge because you're just removing that consistent damage off the board. And yeah, Outlaws can come back in with this one, but there's a sound barrier respond.
Yeah, sound barrier in response, and Merit goes down once again. Three fights in a row. Merit ends up going down first. He does send the Bob out, luckily enough, so technically a 5v5, I suppose. Good focus fire from the Outlaws. They try and defend this final point. Aztac used the rally, was hoping to get a little bit more value. Not enough to save Mira's life. It's not quite the same as that sound barrier. It takes a little bit of time for that overhealth to build up to be effective. Vancouver Titans still have time in their bank, though.
Yeah.
To make this last
They
push.
do, and they have some ultimates that they're working up to as well that they'll definitely be able to get online. Looking at the rampage from Mirror, this time there is no high ground to be booped off of. So hopefully this rampage will be able to hit Outlaws. But I think the biggest thing I'm looking at is the fact that Merit switched off of the Ashe to the Sojourn. And so you'll maybe see him have a bit more of an impact here as he can contend just a touch better with Aspire's Sojourn, having the mobility available and also that one-shot potential too.
Merit looking for summon. Pelicans found Master already, and Mira. Okay, final fight for the Vancouver Titans. They know they can't really waste any time, so they end up just kind of chucking themselves in, or at least trying to get back to spawn. Any nice, like, long stagger kills here will be good. There you go. A kill onto Aspire is nice, and the Outlaws. In fact, Master ends up going down. Okay, died. It comes out of spawn, gets knifed by Dante. Not great, not great,
nope.
But still 20 seconds to go. The spawn isn't super far away for the Titans, so they will be able to get back to the point to trigger over to...
Yeah, you can just kind of rotate through a speed boost from Masa, maybe the commanding shout just for that 30% extra movement speed from the Junker Queen, but they could get back with no trouble here. Now it's all about Mirror hitting this Rampage and maybe Aspire following it up with the Overclock.
Yeah, Rampage versus Rampage again. Mirrors is pretty big. A counter Rampage from Dante aimed it straight at Mirror. King of Mirror in trouble. Blade pulled from Pelican straight to the back. His fancy footwork looking like Wooks out here. 4K for Pelican, or 5K in fact. 4K with the Blade. Pelican getting just a random solo kill at the very start of the fight. Houston Outlaws defend Vancouver Titans. They do make it to the last point, a couple of meters before they capped. Still, good progress.
Sheesh, a 5K. I mean, that's a great way to stop a push right there. But that is a ton of progress for Titans. This is a winnable situation for them to tie up this series. We've seen how Aspire can continuously shut down Merit, but now it's kind of like, does Merit even try the Ashe on the attack? It's not as good as the defense, and you can even see that Merit was struggling in those, maybe the second half of the map with the Ashe trying to find value, that the Sojourn just provides a little bit more in spades when you do have a bit more, you need a bit more point presence there. But we'll see. Gotta watch this replay though from Pelican, the 5K.
Let's have a look how we got it. Ooh. Jesus Christ. This guy's pretty good. 5 kills for Pelican at the very end. That's what you really want to see. The Houston Outlaws DPS line currently quite stacked in terms of the stats department too. Rose, it's going to be a tough battle for the Outlaws. So Pelican just keeps having these performances. I mean, he is elimination-wise, Merit right now, 11 elims, no final blows, but the damage output from both of the DPS from the Outlaws is quite extravagant.
Yeah.
Over 10k DPS right now for Pelican per 10. Merit just sitting below.
Yeah, I mean, that's Pelican right now is 30% of the team's damage at this moment, and it's a lot of damage as well, so you can only imagine how that's really going so far. Almost 10,000.
I mean, compare that to King's damage per 10. King is currently sitting at 6.5k damage per 10 compared to 10k of Pelican, so you can see the differential there between the two Genji players.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely playing a factor here. Maybe King will show us something a bit more on the defense, but it's already not looking too good here. It's Houston looking to make a quick cap.
Oh my god, yeah, Pelican just handing it to him. Jesus. He is mad. I mean, the Outlaws come into today, what, 1 and 2? They need to find this dub here to carry on their streak of getting to the Summer Showdown. And it has been an upwards hill battle, and they've really not looked like themselves ever since Piggy left, but this is the Outlaws that I think everybody kind of remembers, especially when Dante was playing that Doomfist for them in that.
Yes, that was so oppressive, and that was actually very meta-defining to see Dante on the Doomfist. He has a very... he's a very specific style of tank play that I think really works well in this meta, and so I want to see them find success with it, which is just engaging and really finding ways that support the DPS.
Oh, that was a big axe swing there by Mirror. God, he got so many people low, just the rest of his team weren't able to follow up with any meaningful damage and kills. They do kill Lep, though. Yeah, the Outlaws have got full control of this payload right now, and high ground.
Yeah, that's going to be a quick, aggressive push here from the Outlaws, especially when Pelican has another Blade. It's going to be one of the first ults on the board right now for this map. And we're already halfway through, basically. Approaching that second point very quickly as Pelican just trying to get set up here on the high ground for a nice drop down.
King looking to stop the high ground play. Pelican pulling the blade. What you got for us this time around? That rally a little bit harder to chew through, unfortunately, and that beat too. The Vancouver Titans looking rather healthy, but the target focus, nice from Pelican, forcing Aztac away, and in fact, Aztac in a little bit of trouble. That Bob's going to finish him off if Pelican doesn't do it quicker. There is Bob's. You know, they're coming out to play.
They are. I mean, Bob's doing something. Bob's doing something, but Pelican's doing just a little bit more. It's been really rough for the Titans so far to find a footing in this game. Even like with the double support ultimates, it just wasn't enough to contend with the fact that both Merit and Pelican were able to use their DPS ults. Now Titans, they can respond in kind with their own, but with the way that Dante's been hitting these rampages too, Titans might not even have a chance to use these yet.
Trying to find, yeah, I was going to say, King is just kind of chilling around the side. Dante smelt something fishy. End up backing up. Just waiting for the ultimates to come out, maybe waiting for King to pull his blade. He does so, gets booped, nice redash back in. Pelican finishes him off eventually with a couple of shurikens, but the damage has already been done for the Titans on the defense, and they can hold rather close to these doors.
But the respawns are so close for the Outlaws that I think it would be a mistake for Titans to get too close. If they just get, you know, picked off, that's a huge advantage.
Ooh, dearie me. Merit just sent a rampage straight towards Merit there. That was kind of frustrating. A 4-man rampage from Dante, though. Aspire trying to clutch this fight out with this overclock. He's seeing heads, but he can't quite click him quick enough before the rest of his team end up bleeding out. Both Dante and Lep getting a couple of kills each. And there's the team kill. 4 minutes to go for the Outlaws. They're looking good on map number 2. They could finish it out here unless Titans can claw their way back in, but it's going to be an up until battle. Relastro's got a rally coming up, and Vancouver Titans have no ults.
Yeah, no response for the blade the Pelican is working up to either. And that 5K is looking mighty sweet if Pelican can get a repeat. Cardi's approaching that final box of victory.
There's the rally. Mars has been spotted. The commanding shout's already been used. The blade for Pelican. Mirrors one. The supports in the back will stand little to no chance. A nice little bash away there from Aztac to get out of the way of Pelican. But it's Master in the Skies, the only one that's contesting the payload right now, and it looks as good as over. The Vancouver Titans go down on Hollywood as the Outlaws find a match point.
One map win away for the Outlaws to snap the win streak of the Vancouver Titans. And also maybe get some confidence back and stay in the conversation for making it to the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, the Outlaws, if they find the next map, Rose, they're 2-2.
Yeah.
Very good chance of making it all the way there. And, you know, the Titans, if they win, they are guaranteed a ticket to that LAN. But if they lose, it's not out they're not out just yet. They're still 3-1 coming into today in the qualifiers. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out, though. We're going to jump to a quick break. We've got Escort next.
May have just done it right now.
Oh, tough. Oh, that was a good one from Smoke. They back right into it. Kira is the tip of the spear, and the follow-up is there.
Rotation should point with WGS Phoenix winning the fight. Saved by Aztec. Oh my god. Even Scale instantly deleted.
Oh my goodness. A little bait and switch, huh?
Don't forget, the league is coming to Toronto. Define are hosting Canada's first ever Overwatch League tournament, presented by Bell. That is September 8th. Pretty close. We are approaching it. It's going to be crazy. September 8th to the 11th. Experience Esports live once again and play Overwatch 2 and come join the party. And make sure to check out the Bell Fan Zone for the best seats in the house. It's going to be an absolute blast. I cannot wait. It's going to be a good time. And yeah, Toronto Defiant will be there as well. So that's even better for the Toronto Defiant fans. But back to this game, Houston Outlaws and the Vancouver Titans on what was quite a convincing Busan. The Outlaws with a 2-0 there. And then we jump onto Hybrid, and it was almost the same kind of story. Hollywood just felt, like a domination from the Outlaws. I mean, one man ahead of the charge. He hasn't got a smile on his face, but he probably should have quite a large one. It is Pelican, who, what did he do? Well, you know, he just did a little deadlift. He did a little deadlift in the last map. 22 out of the 43 final blows.
Ooh, my goodness. Oh, that's gotta feel so good. I mean, we got a chance to see an expert performance of that with the 5K at the end of Hollywood, round number 1. And just kind of consistency across the board from Pelican as well. I mean, both Pelican and Merritt have been so influential in Houston Outlaws' success in this match.
Yeah, when they get going, they really do get going. It feels, it's kind of strange because it does feel like a new Outlaws. And I feel like I say that every week. And man, it's a different shade of Outlaws we're looking at right now. But this week, it's damn. Vancouver Titans have been on quite the hot streak. Of course, they came into this series with a 3-map win streak. Houston Outlaws, you know, they want to make it. They want to at least tie their record up at 2-2 out of today, and they're on good track to do so. We're going to go on to Circuit Royale as our third and maybe final map. We'll see if Vancouver Titans can bite back.
I definitely think that there is potential here for the Titans. We have seen Aspire and King specifically on Circuit just kind of keep taking some names. And Circuit Royale is just always an interesting one because a lot of teams in this most recent stage, you know, they're running something a bit different than what they might be used to. You're not using the same hold locations as we would have seen in the Sigma meta, so maybe you can cook up something that might take your opponents by surprise. We've seen the close holds, we've seen the holds on this first corner of the boutique, and also just kind of some of these sneaky Widow plays. So all bets are off, it feels like, for Circuit.
It does. It very much feels like a map that anything can happen on, but it's. I think it's always going to be Junk Queen. Maybe one day we'll see like a Widow being permanently picked, but the comp is so fast. It's much harder for the Widow to.
That is true.
Get a headshot on people, but you never know. Boy.
Hey, I always thought maybe you could see the Widowmaker picked at least for like a first kind of look at what's happening on the other team, but.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, we've had a lot of Widowmaker on this map already. I don't know why I'm complaining that much. We've had Widowmaker. It's time for other things.
You just want more Widowmaker. It's okay, Josh.
I do.
We're all there with you.
I like seeing good aim. Yeah. All right, Outlaw's not choosing to actually go with this forward hold. Like more of an aggressive, like, middle of the road hold here. Normally it's the first corner or the spawn, but Outlaw's now just walking all the way back. Oh, Dante gets whip shot to the dome there. The Outlaws off to a decent start.
I mean, that was a quick disengage from the Outlaws. As soon as Dante got dropped, you saw Let hit the rewind to get everybody else out of there. And you know that Dante will be able to come back with a quick taxi there from Lep as well, so there's still another contest to be had here on the first point, but Moss has already walked away with 54% towards that sound barrier. And if Titans keep up this pace, they're going to have the first support ultimate online that could be the difference to just kind of get them the aggression that they want to push forward.
Slowly but surely for the Vancouver Titans, they move that payload up to the first point. Pelican's already in the back, dashes back to the rest of his team, gets a bit of damage down with the shift. It's up to these Sojourn, I should say, on Aspire to find an opening for the Vancouver Titans. The health bars are dwindling right now, but Dante ends up going down first yet again. Aspire with a double body shot with the railgun. It's both Dante and Lastro's life. Vancouver Titans pushing on. That's a very fast team, like 4 minutes and 40 seconds moving up this hill.
I mean, look, the rally is just enough sometimes to really push you over the edge. And that's all they needed. Now Masa gets a chance to rotate through that with the sound barrier as well. And when Merit has been putting in some work over there, that Bob is online, might force you in a position where you have enough time to be able to build up the Dragon Blade, and that's really what Masa wants to have the sound barrier online for, is a response to Pelican's Blade. Pelican gets so much work done with these that you have to have an answer.
Yeah, you have to be fearful. that's for sure. I mean, King's going to get his online too. Might be a bit of a blade v blade. It's going to be ults just across the board. Azteca use the rally to secure that first point, so Outlaws have the advantage in that regard. There's the blade from King. Target might be Merit, but the beat from Lep is decent. Stops King getting any value. There's the bob, but there is the rampage from Mira. It's Lashro and Merit. Merit in trouble. Both Junker Queens coming up with kills, but Mira going down. That's a lot less front line now for the Titans to cower behind. As Pelican, with the help of Lastro, finish off Masa and a quick chase down of King. He is dethroned, and the Titans are going to get held for the time being.
I'm really impressed with Merit right now. King popped the Dragon Blade, and sure, yeah, Lep responded as you would expect to with the sound barrier. But it was Merit's coach gun that actually was able to push King out of position so that he couldn't get a dash reset, and he had to wait for these cooldowns to come back online. At which point, the Houston Outlaws had surrounded him, and he wasn't going to be able to find that value either way.
Oh my god!
Where did Dante go?
Went aerial with that one. I don't know, but I do know where Vancouver Titans are going. It's straight to spawn, that's for sure. He went over the payload and just had a crazy amount of air. Jesus.
Junker Queens fly.
Tony Hawk wants your number, to be honest with you, Dante. All right, Masa goes down. That's a good little play. Only one ult expended as well for the Outlaws, so you're happy with that?
Yeah, they still don't have much to go with, though. I mean, yeah, Dante hit the rampage and found incredible value with that. But now you're looking at Titans having the ultimate advantage. When Aztecs got another rally, that was just enough to be able to push the cart over the edge for the first point, and that cart is not too far away from second either. But Spire 2 could just kind of answer with an overclock. As long as he does, he can take it out before that.
This ends now.
Yeah, the Outlaws don't have any ults at all. Look at that, instantly backing away. Perfectly in tuned are the Outlaws comms and the team right now. That rally and the overclock expended. Vancouver Titans are hoping they find something there. For the Outlaws, just quick as you like. Commanding shell and speed boost all the way back into the choke, and then they can now re-engage. A minute and 45 seconds to go for the Titans to knock this payload into point B. King is in trouble, has to dash back to the rest of his team, and now Pelican instantly gets the blade and pulls it. He's got one kill already. Just give it up, Aztec. You ain't surviving this one. Masters chased down, killed by Merit. Now the Vancouver Titans are halted again. Oh my god, okay. How far can Aspire fly? To the skybox. That's how high.
They actually just like juggled him in the air for a while there. I actually wasn't sure if Aspire was ever to come back down to Earth, but he's coming back out with the Ash. Okay, so switching things up a little bit. This is the first time we've seen Aspire commit to the Ashe over the Sojourn in this series. I mean, Merit's been putting in so much work on the Ashe himself, but I think that Aspire as well, like, is this really gonna be the difference maker for the Titans? They don't have a whole lot of time to make this work, Jaws.
You cannot get picked here if you're the Vancouver Titans right now, and look at this shooting gallery for Merit. clean tracking and clean aim on that Lucio. Jesus. 35 seconds to go. And what are Outlaws going to do? Oh, yeah. It's spawn camp time.
At least a little bit.
Oh, maybe not.
At least a little bit. You know, you're trying to pepper in the rest of the poke damage, try to get Pelican Blade or Dante the Rampage, just in case something goes horribly wrong, to not be able to deal with King's Blade or get a pick before the Titans move in. But it's the last 10 seconds now, Jaws.
Beat Blade, Rampage, maybe that rally for the Titans. They're running into double support ultimates from the Outlaws. There's the beat to match the Blade. Master uses his beat too. Aspire doesn't get any of that overhelp. Will that matter? Doesn't look like it for now. Mira with a 4-man Rampage straight to the back. Lastro using the rally. Oh no, that overhelp couldn't get built up in time. Oh, they throw that support ultimate away. The Houston Outlaws fought it on this second point in OT. The Titans managed to grab it. They had to use a heck of a lot, but they're happy that both support ultimates used on the Outlaws side.
Definitely. I mean, they at least like neutralized the advantage that Outlaws could have had, but the fact that Titans also used the sound barrier and the rally means that Pelican's Blade is pretty free, unless Aspire can do something very similar by using the coach gun to try to push Pelican away, and maybe Aztec with the crowd control as well with the flail could help with that. But Outlaws, I think, are pretty happy with the outcome despite losing both of the support ultimates.
All right, Outlaws hitting that NOS to get to the back line. There's the Blade from Pelican. Bob's out. It's a 5v5 because Bob's on the... No, he's on. He's gone. He's off the map. He's off the map. And Vancouver Titans are in spawn. That is probably the most unfortunate Bob use I've ever seen from an Ash. I guess he just went through both the doors and jumped off the map. That sucks. That's not something you can avoid there, Aspire. I'm assuming he was hoping that maybe he boops into somebody and then stops.
I wonder, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Or maybe Houston like changed the trajectory of it somehow. I'm not sure, but last fight here, Jaws.
Yeah, speaking of Bobs, ooh, look at him holding down those stairs. Look at him go. Politest human being alive, or Omnic alive, I will say. Master falls. Someone needs to touch the payload for the Vancouver Titans. They haven't got any ults and they haven't got any health bars either. They got OT. Push on to second point. They don't get it much further than that second corner leading into last. The Vancouver Titans still with a decent push on Circuit Royale. See what they want to do on their defense, but Outlaws, like I said, map before, different beast feels like today.
Really does. What shade of green are we calling this?
Lime.
Lime green?
Lime.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because lime, okay, people are, I'm not sure what time it is in Europe right now, or just the UK. Let me check. I'm checking.
Well, like 11.
It's midnight, so maybe there are a couple of British viewers watching, but lime concentrate or lime squash, best squash around.
What is
although the summer fruit squash, also pretty decent. It's a concentrate that you add to water, and it just gives it a flavor, but it has no sugar in it.
Oh.
It's like it's like super common in the UK, and I haven't really found it in the US. That was the first thing I looked for when I went to the supermarket to do my first shop back in 2020. But I was like, what the hell? No squash? Seriously?
I thought you were talking about like like the fruit. Like,
oh, like the fruit.
like the gourd.
Ooh. Here's the Bob.
Oh, it's going to no.
Mary jumps out the way. Okay, that is just unlucky. Because you're expecting, if you're Aspire there, you're expecting it to hit somebody so the Bob stops.
I think so.
But jeez,
like
that's
corner or something.
He threaded the needle with that one. That is rather unlucky.
I thought the ledge maybe too at the end, the bottom of the stairs stopped it.
No, Bob gets air. He is just running it down. He gets mad air with that. Nice TP from Merritt. Just getting rid of that spawn hole. Swapping sides, of course. They haven't got the payload, but much more advantageous for the Outlaws to stand here on this corner. Big axe swing from Dante. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Aztec is the primary target. They end up trading supports, but Dante is just being ignored by the rest of the Vancouver Titans right now. He's just cleaving him. He's got that gore howl unlocked. The Vancouver Titans, they do end up killing both Dante and Lastro, but Mira is a little bit worse for wear. Yeah, there you go. Nice spawn hold just denied by the Outlaws, and they do get the payload going.
Yeah, at least Titans are able to buy at least a little bit of time off that clock, but now you're looking at giving a lot of agency to the Outlaws. Lastro was able to do so much damage and healing that rally's coming online really fast, and we saw what Aztec was able to do with that kind of ultimate available on Titan's attack push. So yeah, Lastro's definitely looking forward to being able to pop this rally and push this payload over the first goal line.
I think everyone from Titans looking at Aspire trying to open this one up. He's been instrumental at shutting down Merit. He did that on Hollywood. Can he do the same thing here? 2.5 minutes to go as Pelican goes down to a dash from King. That's a lot of dynamite damage still, though, from Merit. You see that ult charge tick up. Look at that. That must have been a 4 or 5-man dynamite. The beat from Marsa. They're going to push forward after Lastro used that rally. Dante is just focused down. That beat over health. Way too much for Dante to really hold on to anything. And they trade the beat for the rally. And now it's going to be the opposite way around. Lep has got that beat coming online. Aztec has got the rally.
Yeah, but I think that Lep having a sound barrier actually is a little bit better for the Outlaws when you look at the fact that Pelican and King are both going to have Dragon Blades up and running. I mean, Maso kind of felt forced to use the sound barrier in that last fight because of how low Mirror got. You weren't going to get the overhealth from the rally on time in time.
Attempted boot on Dante there. Didn't quite work out, but that rally from Aztec is good. Look at the patience from the Titans playing back so they can get rid of that ante and stack up that overhealth. A nice return rampage from Mirror. Good defense from the Titans. Team kill as well. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Titans looking to hold this one down on this corner. In fact, they're just going to push up. They're going to let that payload trickle back. Go for the spawn hold.
Yeah, why not? King still has the blade. Aspire can go for the overclock. Aspire's actually going to be set up like behind the rest of the team here. Keep Lep on lock.
Where is Lep going? Lep hit that beat.
Cart.
To get back to the rest of his team. Yeah, it looked like he was going to the cart, yeah. But he's not going to need to now as they do end up killing the Titans. How close is the payload, though? Okay, it's just on this corner. Maybe, just maybe, the Titans can get back. Mirror, Masa, and Aztec spawn first.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, Masa can get here, but I think when you're missing Aspire and King as well, and the Disruptor shot, too, to just displace the team, that is a first point capture for the Outlaws. And kind of back to square one. Aspire didn't use the overclock, though, yet, so maybe that is a way that Titans can try to buy some time to get the double support ultimates back online. But, I mean, Merit just kind of constantly choosing what needs to be picked in the situation. Back on the Ashe, and that Bob's going to get built up really quickly, too.
Yeah, not before Aspire could use that overclock. Oh, that would have been a wicked shot if he hit that through that gap. That does end up dying, though. Reduced to atoms with that laser beam. All right, the Titans now, again, letting the payload kind of roll back just a little bit, but it's whether they overextend. Doesn't look like they're going to. You can't be caught unawares as the spawn is pretty close. Speed boost for the Outlaws. They use that rally, but the beat from Masa, pretty good. I mean, they got to target Dante down. His health bar is dwindling. He still goes for that axe swing, hoping to get some of that adrenaline rush to heal him back up, but it wasn't to be. But it doesn't matter, because you still have Pelican on your team. He's got 3 kills, make it a 4th. Pelican is just on one today.
Oh, Lep denied the 5th one. Come on now. But yeah, wow. I want whatever Pelican had for breakfast or lunch. Lunch at this point?
I don't know. Whatever they fed him today, just keep doing it.
You do it every time. All the time.
Not sure what was on the menu.
I don't know.
All right, the Vancouver Titans, what? They have like 1.5 fights here, maybe, depending how quickly they engage. But
they don't have much.
Almost a neutral fight. Aztec does have that rally coming up, Rose, but Pelican's got that blade. They got Bob. This could be disastrous if Vancouver Titans lose one of their supports. The blade has been pulled. They got a kite back. 1 slash, a slash and a reset onto Mirror. The Bob's going to come out too. The whole army summoned by the Outlaws. And with Mirror dead, Aztec's got no one to give that rally to. Oh, he killed Bob, I suppose, but that's just about it. Minute to go. Outlaws get that last, that second point. It might just be the last point as well if Vancouver Titans aren't careful. Oh, what a pull. Oh! What happened there? It looked like he got pulled in, then he whip-shotted Pelican. I guess you can blame Dante maybe for that death, Pelican.
I was going to say maybe Mirror had something to do with that too, but whoa!
Sneaky beaky like Dante from the shadows. hit that rampage and it hit 5. That's going to be it. There's just no way they come back from this one unless Mirror and Aspire have something to say about it. No, Pelican's back from spawn. A nice little combat knife there thrown to Aspire. 2 minutes to go and the payload is very close to that green box of victory.
No,
can Master get back in time?
No.
Doesn't look like it. The Houston Outlaws finish that game 3-0 and stop that win streak from the Vancouver Titans.
They are still in contention to make it for Summer Showdown. Both teams are, actually, because Vancouver now sitting at a record of what, 3-2? That's really good. Yeah. So they're both kind of still fighting for one of those Summer Showdown spots. Not out of it at all.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Houston Outlaws very happy. They were sitting in 8th coming in with a 1-2 record. Now they're sitting at 2-2. Both these teams, to be fair, could make it to the Summer Showdown, that big LAN event. If Pelican keeps playing like this, I think it's going to be pretty easy for them. We'll have to look at their schedule a little bit later, but yeah, wow, what a series. And this is what you kind of wanted, right? If you're an Outlaws fan or on the Outlaws, it's just getting that confidence back. You have looked a little bit lackluster over the last couple of weeks. Everybody was kind of questioning, was that because like Piggy left? Maybe there was something going on there, but no, this looks like the Outlaws when they were playing Dante on Doomfist, just very aggressive, and they had very good timing too. There was a lot of times where Vancouver Titans were popping ults, they pop rally, they pop blade, and they're like, okay, speed boost back, commanding shout, speed boost, we're gone. Just very, very well timed by the Outlaws support line. And it's been good to see too, because they've also had some chop and changing of players in that role.
That's true as well. I mean, I think that Lep and Lastro are finally starting to get their rhythm in terms of how to play with each other and as a part of the team. So I love to see everything starting to fall together for the Houston Outlaws. But we've got one player that really was such an instrumental force for the Houston Outlaws victory today, and that is Pelican.
Yep, he hit that flutter deadlift on Hollywoods, and of course Pelican's going to get play of the game. His Genji's looking so good in this series, and this is, remember, this was against Titans who looked exceptional, especially people like Aspire and King coming in to the series. And Pelican just shut it all down. Merit had quite the duel with Aspire. They were going blow for blow, but Pelican was just the shutout for the Houston Outlaws. Just an unreal force. And it's hard to shut down players like that. It really is. He just seems to have everybody on the Titans read like a book. It's tough stuff.
14 final blows per 10.
Per 10?
What? Woo! Look at the Dragon Blade efficiency.
Like 2.6 kill deaths per 10 too.
Oh,
that is unbelievably low.
This is incredible. I mean, like, not only do we have the eye test, right? You can see that Pelican is getting these flashy 4Ks, 5Ks, but the stats to back it up as well. That's really impressive. And, you know, Pelican and Merit, they definitely have such a strong place on the team. And I think Dante as well, being able to help find those openings for Merit and Pelican to pop off is really special. And it's finally coming together.
Yeah, funnily enough, Junker Queen feels like a Dante hero again, like Doomfist does, right? He's just so good. I don't think we'll see him play DPS for a little while. Just the caliber of DPS, but also the caliber of his tank play has just been exceptional this season so far. We're going to jump to a quick break. The desk going to break that one down. There's not too much to it, but still, you know, Vancouver Titans and the Houston Outlaws, to be fair, they can still make that Summer Showdown. We'll have to wait and see what they say. We're going to jump to a quick break. We'll see you in a bit.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
What teammate is most likely to get on a coach's bad side?
없는데? For sure, Reiner. That guy Parma argues with them and yeah, for sure, Reiner.
레이너.
저는 희수가 장난꾸러기인 것 같아요.
해봤자 저인 것 같은데 다 좀 조용하고 잔잔한 성격이라서 저밖에 없는 것 같아요.
It's either me or Sam because all the other players usually listen to the coaches. Me and Sam are like the opposite. We don't like listening to the coaches a lot of the time.
I think 킬로.
게임 외적으로도 게임 내적으로도 좀 많이 짜증나실 것 같아요.
네. It would definitely be Reiner because Reiner doesn't even believe in coaching. Obviously that's a joke. He is just hard for the coaches.
If you had to play one hero for the rest of your career, who would it be?
Hard. Ana?
Either Tracer or Genji, I'm not sure which one.
Zenyatta? Yeah. I like Tracer.
So if it's not in my role, I like to play Widow a lot because you just kind of AFK and shoot.
저는 손보라를 고르겠습니다.
Definitely Sigma, just because it's fun hero. You can take over games.
둠피스트였는데 이제 아무래도 탱커가 돼가지고 이제는 트레이서인 것 같아요. 전 당연히 트레이서.
브리기테 1등을 찍어왔기도 해가지고 브리기테입니다.
But if it's in my role, then it would be Roadhog. Like I like playing Roadhog a lot, but we almost never play him in the league, so that's a sad one.
팀에서 요리 제일 잘하는 사람은 누구인가요? Maybe Smash, because I think he's the only one that actually cooks.
Maybe Scoot?
왜냐면은 다른 애들은 다 배달시켜 먹는데 주석이 형은 집에서 만들어 먹고 그래가지고 제일 잘할 것 같습니다.
이거는 칼리오스 선수. 제가 음식하는 걸 칼리오스 선수밖에 못 봐가지고.
칼리오스 형이 고기도 잘 굽고 찌개도 잘 만들어요.
This is actually crusty. Always make some food.
Welcome back to Watchpoint Post Show, everybody. Vancouver Titans. I believed in them, but it didn't happen. And honestly, I'm not that angry because Houston Outlaws.
They look pretty good. I would like to remind everyone that you're on a runaway train, so it doesn't stop and you guys can't get off. You are stuck on the Vancouver Titans train.
Look, we could jump out from the window.
Yeah, but you're gonna take like damage or something like that as you jump.
Break an arm, yeah.
Look, we're renegades. We don't like being stuck to the tracks of life, all right? We like
tell him, Johnny.
Getting off the tracks and just seeing where life takes us, all right? And that is the Vancouver Titans fan life.
Yeah, that's true. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to say that I was supposed to have an interview with Dante, and then he came into the interview room and he was like, "Oh, I'm interviewing Custer, I'm out," and then he left. That's actually how it happened.
No,
See,
come on now, don't say that.
Custer, this is why
something didn't go right, but Custer takes it personally.
I took it personally.
You have to have good relationship with players. You can't
me and Dante
talk bad about it every single player.
Fun fact, me and Dante played on an Overwatch team together. Me, Dante, Space, XQC, ZZA, and Ginger Pop.
Ginger Pop.
Yeah. Now I know why he didn't want to do the interview.
Rip. Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk to Dante.
You were like top 6 NA, top 8.
We got like top 4 in a tournament, and that's when we lost to Rogue, and that was the "they went to Korea" kind of moment.
All right, let's talk about this match real quick. I mean, it's Houston Outlaws looking really. They looked really improved from what we saw. What their last match was last week, right? And yeah, Pelican went crazy, and I think just all of Houston Outlaws looked very good.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from the Houston Outlaws. Like, I predicted them, but I didn't expect this. This was them going back to the level in which they beat the Gladiators in. Right. Merin and Pelican are just have all the space in the world to just go absolutely sicko mode. We had Pelican have a deadlift, only died 3 times and deadlifted on this Hollywood. Just, when he has that look in his eyes and you look at the cameras, you're like, oh, they just don't stand a chance. And he just stepped up to the plate. But I do want to give credit to the rest of the Houston Outlaws team. they're playing very well and enabling both of these DPS players.
Yeah, I think Dante had like a good game on Junker Queen, and he just set up Pelican in like a different way. Like Pelican's straight up an anime character, all right?
Yeah.
I don't watch anime. You know, I've really tried. I promise I've tried to get into anime. Not my thing, all right? I give it a first shot. But Pelican is like, I'm like, oh, that's like what anime's about, right? You know? So he just popped off and like he looked menacing.
I don't know what genre that would be.
No, like when the observers were showing like the free cam and like the two teams like setting up before the fight and you see a lot of players, like it was like Pelican like stood out to me. Like he had a draw to him. It's just like, oh, there are all these like 10 players I'm seeing currently on the screen, and then there's like Pelican. Pelican just like, I focused in on Pelican. He's special.
It's like when they're in
so
a row.
menacing.
It's like
so
when they're in a
powerful.
row and there's that one with the blue hair and you're like, he's the main character. The rest of the ones just have really normie hair and they just look like normie characters. Pelican is that non-normie in the lineup.
He was amazing today. Amazing.
Yeah, he really had a great game. Pelican. And I'm friends with him. I'm happy for him.
Well, I was friends with Dante, but not anymore. But let me throw this in here as well. Vancouver Titans, that was a pretty disappointing performance from them. You know, as we said, the train was completely deserved. They were on a 3-win streak. Unfortunately, it comes to an end. But, you know, they're going to keep going. They still have opportunities to qualify for the LAN. They are 3 wins, so they still are in with a good shot. Right? But this is sort of like bringing them back to reality in a little bit, you know, you're going up against the Houston Outlaws, a team that does have that star power in Merit and Pelican, and I think Aspire and King just sort of couldn't keep up the tempo, so they need to be able to find a way as a whole team to be able to step up when that kind of pressure is being exerted.
No, right. You're being dismissive, all right? Houston Outlaws, they lost to Lana Spitfire 3-0. You know, and they had like an off game. This was the Vancouver Titans off game, all right? They're allowed to have an off game once in a while.
Every
right?
team
They'll be
has
fine.
an off
They'll
game.
be fine, all right? They'll qualify.
Like Johnny said,
tournament and then lower bracket runs. It's gonna be great.
It's fine. It's fine. They still have a chance, and Houston are looking a lot better. Let's see if they could keep this up in their next match. And with that being said, that is all the matches we have. We had some great 3 Overwatches today?
3 Overwatches.
3 Overwatches.
3. We care for your
We're
time.
like
we had
Dynasty over here.
really good, amazing 3 matches. We did. And because we had amazing matches, of course, we have our best of the days. Woo! All right, let's just get right into it. I'm going to start off. My best of the day is something simple, but something just too good. I feel like, you know, this season, I've become sort of a DPS simp and a Genji simp. And this happened the very first match. Toronto. What? What? I did. Look at it. It was a Genji, although deflect. Like a really clean. Can we see that again?
That's crazy.
Onto Victoria. And it was just super quick, but it was just so clean and crisp that I had to put this in as my best of the day.
Does he even notice he's there? Oh, he does.
Right there. Boom. Yeah.
No, that is accidental.
I don't think that's accidental.
I didn't even realize it was a Sojourn. I just thought it was Faith there. The Lucio. What?
That's crazy.
That was kind of nuts.
If he got the kill, that was intentional.
Yeah. It's true.
If he didn't get the kill, then it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I have another very impressive moment that happened in the Overwatch League today.
Okay.
So, you know, there's a piano on Circuit Royale, and I think we should just watch, you know, the high quality things that we saw. That was great. Honestly, Mouthville really stepped up, and I was really impressed at this point. But then, I think this is unfair. Happy has to come out and one-up Mouthful by playing the Pirates of the Caribbean theme? What is that? That's just mean. You know, Mouthful was trying his best.
That was so good, though. I remember all 3 of us were like, oh, Pirates!
I'm looking forward to see if like we can take it to another level here. Like maybe like next week, I don't know who, like Hardy comes out and like plays like Mozart or something.
No, we've seen San Francisco Shock do it. We've seen Paris do it. Houston's doing it.
You know what the next step is? You can only play with one hand. We need collaboration. We need 2 players on the piano with 2 different players side by side playing 2 different hands, and then we're really pod racing at that point. Then we're Mozart.
They should play what's that song? The Chopstick?
Yeah, Chopstick. Yeah. Honestly, there is lots of great options there.
That's gonna be our best of the day if that happens.
Yeah, no.
There's a single best of the day if that ever happens.
Yeah, you'll win the best of the year.
There you go.
If you can play a two-handed song.
All right, Johnny, what was your best of the day?
I forgot that. Honestly, this might be best of the year. All right. And I'm not. Look,
What?
I don't want to ruin the best of the day segment, but this might be the year's best of the day ever this year. Bob, with the caps. This was incredible.
Legendary.
So beautiful. They should have sent a poet. Cloud9, about 5 years ago, they started the trend of stepping off the cart, and I believe we peaked. I believe this is peak C9 as the Hangzhou Spark departs the payload in pursuing of kills, and Bob is left standing alone, contesting, pushing with all of his might the payload across the finish line and secured the map win for the Los Angeles Valiant. Today was the day of the Bobs.
Did you memorize this?
No.
No?
I'm a good motivational speaker.
Motivational speaker.
Bob, he did great. His hat is so cute.
I like that. I like that
great.
color.
How
Bob,
does it
too.
stay at a side? It has to be like glued on or like nailed on because otherwise it would fall off.
Why? No, he just has a very frictionless head.
No, a friction full head?
No, isn't the
Frictionless
more
would mean
friction,
that it would
the more
fall off.
speed? No.
All right, guys. So those are the matches and our 3 best of the day. So that is it for today. But we have more matches coming tomorrow. We got the Eastern matches in the morning, and then we have the Western matches, of course. So let's take a look at the schedule of the East first. 2 matches: Guangzhou versus Philly, and then
Ooh.
Shanghai Dragons
Very
going up
close.
against the Chengdu Hunters. Panda versus Dragons.
Wow.
Panda versus Dragons, the classic. Honestly, Philly
That's-
Guangzhou could go either way.
Yeah, I mean Guangzhou. They look. I think they could potentially beat Philly here. Philly's looked weak. Guangzhou, Jimmy. Yeah, it could be a very frictious matchup.
I don't even know what it means anymore. I just yell Jimmy every time we talk about the Guangzhou. Jimmy, you got this!
You know, Jimmy was supposed to be your favorite player, but he's not anymore. It's Pineapple.
No, Pineapple has the best name. He's not my favorite player. Jimmy is my
name?
favorite
Okay.
player.
All right. Of course. And West region, we have London versus Washington, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, and then Florida.
Atlanta, Houston is a good one.
Same with London, Washington.
I think
they have
London,
a lot
Washington,
of implications.
yeah.
Like we are getting close to like teams need to start filling out their records to qualify for the LAN, and I think both of those matches have like a lot of implications of finally getting over the line. And I'm sure Gladiators are looking with a heavy hand at like some of these teams, hoping they win.
Both of them are 2-2, London and Washington.
Ooh.
By the way, if you're a LA Gladiators fan, you sort of need Dallas Fuel as well to beat Florida Mayhem.
Yeah, you want to keep Florida down.
Yeah.
You want to have as many 6-0 teams as you can.
Yeah, and Washington Justice too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think
Gladiators need everyone to lose.
Yeah, everybody lose. That is mediocre.
Gladiators might
okay?
make it. I don't know.
If you have more than 3 wins, 3 or more wins, win. If you don't, lose. That's all they're asking for.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, those are the matches for tomorrow. So get excited. I'm excited to see those matches, which means we're gonna say goodbye here today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for all those wonderful matches. See you guys. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.